Okay, so I've done a lot of tank builds before the latest patch. Some of them were really overpowered. But since the Breach update, I felt like tank builds weren't that amazing anymore. Especially because blocking now still damages your health. Basically, blocking isn't a perfect block. It just reduces the damage significantly. And I'm not going to take all the credit for this build, because many of you gave great suggestions in the comments. So this is a build made by all of you, the community. Just by blocking enemy attacks, you return over 300 damage back to them. I paired this with a one-handed rune that's probably the best choice for a tank. It closes the gap and deals massive chained damage to enemies. I introduce to you the ultimate tank build. I'll let you see for yourself how easy it is to clear the highest level of outbreaks. Here's how the build works. You block, and when enemies attack you, they take damage from your shield. Your shield also generates focus, and once you have enough, you unleash the rune attack, dealing massive damage. On top of all this, if you do get hit and lose some health, using the rune instantly lifesteals it all back. We just block, get some focus, and then blast them. And since they were so close to each other, we damage both of them. And just so you know, even ranged attacks that you block will deal damage back to enemies. It makes fights incredibly easy, with no overcomplicated mechanics. Quick side note, I've seen a lot of you in the comments telling me to use the Ring of Determination to spam runes and pull off some crazy combos. But honestly, I still haven't found that ring. I'm 150 hours in, and no Ring of Determination. I did manage to find 2 of the new ones, but the Ring of Determination continues to escape me. My RNG is absolutely cursed. Now let's get into the build. After that, I'll show you a full Crucible run using this setup. No echoes, just the build doing all the work. We're going to start with the main weapon, the tongue splitter. I found the recipe for it at Greenwich and crafted it at the blacksmith's anvil. I removed its original rune and replaced it with Stormpiercer, Damage Surge, and Tornado Strike, all runes that I got just from doing Crucible runs. And yes, you can remove all the runes from a weapon, but if you choose Extract instead of Destroy, it will also destroy the weapon. I'd say it's already a pretty good system. That said, I still wish there was an option to freely swap runes around without losing anything. Now, I've tested quite a few strength-based one-handers, and I have to say, I absolutely love the normal attacks on this one. It closes the gap really well, though it's not the fastest weapon out there. If you're looking for speed, the Rusty Khopesh is an excellent one-handed strength weapon. But the reason I think Tongue Splitter is better for a tank build is that it has 20 poise attack instead of 10. Basically, it's much better at breaking enemy poise and staggering them faster. I've also been testing a two-handed weapon, and I found that Kerim's Skirend is actually a pretty solid choice. It has some nice attack animations. I want to test it more with the Lightning Assault rune, but first, I need to find the Ring of Determination. The dodge into attack combo gives the weapon a completely different animation. It's a really cool weapon, and I definitely want to test it more. Now let's get back to the Rusty Khopesh. For the gem, I'm using Lifesteal. The weapon's effects are increased damage against large enemies, increased healing, and stamina recovery. Now for the shield, the core of this build, we're using the legendary Falsted's Barricade. This shield deals a whopping 25% damage on block and has 30 poise attack. It also generates focus on block, which opens up a lot of options for using different types of runes right after blocking. I also added a physical damage increased gem to boost the block damage even more. Now for the gear. Any plate armor will do, but I recommend using blue enchantments. That's because we're mainly looking for 2 key stats to support the blocking playstyle. Poise defense increased and stagger resistance increased. These 2 effects can only be obtained from blue enchantments. The idea is to stack as much poise and stagger resistance as possible, so enemies can't interrupt or knock you back, especially while you're blocking. The enchantment list that the developers released came in really handy here. I'll also leave it in the video description for anyone who wants to check out build ideas or see what each enchantment can offer. For the helmet, we got poise defense increased, stagger resistance, and focus gain. For the gem, I went with stamina increased. For the body armor, we used a health increased gem, and for the effects we got poise defense, stagger resistance, and increased armor. For the gloves, I added another stamina increased gem, and again we have poise defense, stagger resistance, and physical damage increased. For the pants, one more stamina increased gem, with more poise defense, stagger resistance, and movement speed increased. For the rings, we got the plagued ring for lifesteal, the snake ring, which is incredibly powerful for this build as it gives another 25% damage on block, and finally the feather ring that helps me stay within the heavyweight class. For the stat points, we have 40 in health for the best survivability, 50 in strength to use the weapon and shield, 17 in focus to push me over 200 total focus and be able to use 2 runes one after the other, and a 20 in equip load. And that's it, the ultimate tank build. I'll leave a full Crucible run using this build without using any echoes, so you can see the build in full. I won't comment over it since I'm too lazy at the moment, but if you have any questions about the build or anything else, feel free to let me know in the comments. If you liked this video, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.